Oh dear, can anything be more identical than this? For the first time in the season. Triple captaincy cheap on Kane or not? Hello everyone, welcome to FPL Subs. Let us look into the topics for today's video. Game Week 31 points and analysis, Game Week 32 team and transfers, blank Game Week 33 preparation. If you ask me to pick a single player from Game Week 31 Dream Team, it will be Iheanacho. He is looking like an essential pick for the next few matches and maybe for the rest of the season. Alexander-Arnold with back-to-back Dream Team nomination is also getting there. He is catching eye from many FPL managers as both his defending and attacking potential is very high along with his price, which is the main reason I am still reluctant to bring him in, but will surely bring him from Game Week 35 onwards. Who are willing to take a calculated risk, Lacazette is an obvious candidate for the rest of the season. Arsenal has a very good run of fixtures till the end of the season and Lacazette is certainly their main striker. As I already mentioned Lingard in last video, I thought to give it a break, but Lingard did it again. And now it is a hat-trick appearance for him in Dream Team. He will be the first player to be added in team sheet for every FPL game week. I did not want to waste the transfer, so made Cedric transfer by removing El Mohammadi, who was not playing for Aston Villa. That has not paid back as Cedric also benched for Arsenal and it seems like he will only be used in Europa League. After captaining Kane in previous 2 game weeks, it was time for my other premium asset who did not break my faith and awarded with a price rise. Without further ado, let's pick out the team along with their game week points for the listeners. Lloris in goal with 2 points, in defense Shaw 1 point, Digne 6 and Ben White with a surprising 9 points who came off from my bench. In midfield Son 7 points, Rafinha 2, Gundogan 1, Lingard 14 and Salah as captain gave me 14 points. My 2 forwards Kane 2 and Watkins with another goal with 8 points. In my bench I have Sanchez 2 points, Maza 1, Cedric did not play and Dallas with a massive 17 points but only to be the third bench option. My total game week point is 66, my game week rank is 344k and my new overall rank is now just under 150k for the first time in the season. One interesting part of live FPL site is you can check game week rank with hits. In official FPL site, the hit is not considered in game week rank, it only affects the overall rank. Here in game week 31, if hits are taken into account, my game week rank is 310k. My game week score was above the overall average score of 42, also I managed to score more than the safety score of 52. As a result, I got a 48k rank rise, that is 25% increase from my previous rank. My total points in the season is 1949 now. My team was nicely 62% template, but the captaincy choice of Salah was slightly differential from the FPL managers in top 10k and a massive differential among the overall captaincy pick. I am now 101 point behind top 10k, which is decreased slightly. Chasing the difference of 19 with top 100k managers is looking more realistic now. The gap with number 1 has also decreased as we get a new number 1 and the gap is now 279 with the top FPL manager. All this information can be seen in the live FPL site, link given in the description. This is a very helpful tool to use. You can see the most selected captains and vice captains for top 10k as well as for overall FPL managers with their ownership. Since the last video, we had seen a massive ownership rise for Diogo Jota in top 10k with respect to overall. He is owned by 62% of the FPL managers in top 10k. His ownership has only increased in a similar ratio to his playtime and his performance. He has started last match for Liverpool and I am now almost convinced that he is definitely in future plan of Klopp as well as mine. But when that needs to be postponed as a certain forward named Iheanacho has rocked the floor for Leicester City. They are having a nice fixture swing and he is the main target man instead of Jamie Vardy this time in the absence of Barnes. Scoring 7 goals in his last 6 starts, failed to score only against a defensively sound opponent like Man City and Arsenal, which is the main reason to get him for his high chance of scoring against the next 4 opponents who are not that strong at the back. To calculate how strong they are, we will take help from Football Fallout site, link given in the description. Leicester is having a CPG of 1.19 which is joint fib based, so we can easily go for their defensive option, but I personally do not want to invest on their defense. They do not offer much return for their values. Their non-scoring defenders are more or around 5 million, even their wingbacks with only assist potential are valued near 6 million. Of course, there are better options around same price. I have Digne in my team for the premium spot and thinking to change to Trent in future or maybe Cresswell if he is fit. or Cancelo as a differential. Attacking wise, they are facing the 4 teams having CPG among the lowest 5 teams in the league. West Brom is the worst with CPG of 1.9 and Newcastle is the 5th worst with CPG of 1.65. This is a dream for any attacker to play against these teams. Iheanacho is a no-brainer as I told already, but the decision to double up on Leicester City is not decided yet. The closest contender for the second spot is Maddison, and his inclusion will be all depend on the press conferences. Another important decision I have to make prior to Game Week 32 is whether to activate the triple captaincy chip on Kane or not. There is no way I will put it in a single game week player. So with not many double game weeks left for the season, it is a high time to decide. Also, there are not many teams or players left with the same or higher potential than Kane or Spurs. Kane is facing Everton and Southampton in the double game week. There is not a single doubt in my mind about Southampton, which reflects on their stats for goals considered per game, that is 1.81, will take help from same football fallout side. Whereas Everton is not that bad in defense, their CPG is only 1.27, which is not that bad by any mean. My only mind block is their Carabao Cup final in the following weekend. As per the football philosophy followed by Mourinho, he wants to win trophies, so that he can add silverware to his cabinet. As of now, Spurs' only hope to win any kind of silverware is the Carabao Cup, so Mourinho will do anything to win this final against, and of course, the best team in England. In order to do that, Kane's minutes may be managed. That also may be against the weaker opponent from their 2 game week fixtures. Otherwise, I am all set to use my triple captaincy chip on Kane. This is my first 11 without making any transfer. I will read out the full team for the listeners. In goal, Lloris. In defense, Shaw, Dine and Cedric. In midfield, Salah, Gundogan, Son and Lingard. In attack, Maza, Watkins and Kane. In bench, Sanchez, Rafinha, Dallas and White. Armband is on Kane at the moment and Son is his deputy, which is almost 99% confirmed and will only be changed in case of any massive injury update in press conference. As you can see, Maza is in my first 11 and my transfer will be for Maza only. And I also can do another transfer after the European competition depending upon the condition of Gundogan and Saka. Gundogan may be transferred out for Jota or Saka, or even I may also take an wild punt on Trossard. Yes, I have 2 free transfers. Here I will get the stats for Saka and Trossard. To compare, I will use the Super FPL site link given in the description. And oh dear, can anything be more identical than this? Every stat is almost similar, even the minutes played are same. Influence and creativity per 90 minutes are equally calculated, whereas Saka has a slight advantage for threat per 90 minutes. Both of them has similar number of attacking returns, but Trossard with a better of points return mainly due to clean sheet and bonus points. The next 4 fixtures are also similar, but fixtures after that will give Saka a slight edge over Trossard. Of course, there is always a safer option like Jota or Maddison, and Saka or Trossard can be an amazing differential to choose. Let me tell you why I am trying to preserve one transfer so desperately. Last game week I only used one transfer in defense. This game week also I want to restrict myself up to only one transfer unless there is a certain urgency in my team, especially with Gundogan. The reason for that is I want to do a massive 1 week punt in the striker position for Kane. We already know game week 33 is blank for Spurs, and I don't want to waste 11 million on my bench. I will definitely get a replacement for Gundogan and Son will be benched. Then for Kane I will get a forward only for game week 33 and reverse the transfer in game week 34 where Kane is playing Sheffield United. The striker is yet to be decided and that will definitely be disclosed in the next video. Hope I have given you full team and transfer details and have thoroughly discussed the triple captain chip and my transfer plans. If you like the content, please like the video and subscribe the channel. Also please comment about your thoughts so that I can improve the content more and come with more videos with your inspiration and suggestions. I am planning to discuss more on the possible double and blank game weeks and where to use my final chip of free hit. Till then, take care and goodbye from me. Please do like, comment, share the video and please subscribe the channel before leaving. More videos are planned and your involvement will be highly appreciated. Goodbye for now to all my fellow subs. Keep enjoying and see you in the next video.